Our next activity is going to be a colleague circle. And a colleague circle is a fundamental component of an ECET2 convening. These groups are intended for you to be able to establish connections at your table, to meet some new people. We intentionally didn't seat you with the people from your school, sorry. You can wave to them across the room. If you know somebody here, wave to them. Just so they know you didn't forget. Perfect. So we did that on purpose because we want you to meet some other people. Some of you have been in the system for a very long time, and yet you're looking at new faces at the table. So when you have your colleague circle, it's meant to establish those connections. Those connections are supposed to go beyond this room. So hopefully you meet somebody throughout tonight or tomorrow that can help you with something, or that you can continue a conversation with beyond the ECET2 convening. They're also meant to establish trust. We all have something in common, and so we need to be able to trust each other as educators. And we want you to be able to share opportunities and challenges amongst yourselves. There's elementary teachers here, early childhood teachers here, middle school, high school, coaches, principals. We all have the same types of challenges, so we want you to be able to discuss those and really be open and honest. We have protocols for the colleague circles. In fact, we have a colleague circle leader at every table. Colleague circle leaders, raise your hand. Thank you. Those of you at table 8, take a guess. I'll be back. So colleague circle leaders have the protocol. They will tell you all the directions, so I don't need to do that. But understand, as much as there's a protocol, it's meant to be fun, interesting. We want you to laugh, we want you to chat, we want you to have fun. Be real. This is not meant to be stuffy and formal. We want you to really have a good time and talk openly and honestly. So the colleague circles will give you some directions and information. We have about 40 minutes or so. I'll come back up a couple of minutes before the end, so to give you a little warning that we're going to move on. And after that, we'll have a nice little musical ensemble. And later on, you can drink a Pepsi if you want. All right, thank you.
I'll give you 2 minutes to do this. I don't know if you want this as a model, but it doesn't have to be 6, it could be more, it could be less.
One descriptor. So at this point, let's take the 2 minutes to draw your web and think of what descriptors really represent or capture elements of your identity. And as a good teacher, I will set my timer to make sure that I don't give us 5 minutes instead.
Each additional circle, I feel like I have to be quiet, should contain a word or phrase that captures some element of his or her identity. It could be a role that you
Or how you are as an educator. So for example, right, if I look at mine and I see father, right, I think of, well, what kind of teacher would I want my kids to have? Or, what are the fathers of these people and what is their role in their life? Are they there or are they not there? So something like that. So just think, I'm going to share out your responses. So let's take a couple minutes to just look them over and think about one of those things that you'd be willing to share.
We're away, we spend a lot of time together. Many days, yes. And Melissa was working, and what are you doing? This conference. I wanted to make the rules. So did you put Thursday on there?